let's talk about the historical benefits of underwater habitats.
Welcome to Colonize the Ocean podcast, where we discuss oceanic colonization, exploration, and education with your hosts Adam Jewell and Brendan Traxler.
So, at first, the name doesn't really make that much sense, I don't think. Maybe you already see through what I'm getting to. But regardless, what I'm talking about here is, you know, the archaeological aspects of having an underwater habitat. There are lots and lots of either proposed or known underwater areas of interest around the world that we have dove on, we've excavated, we have attempted to work at, and some along those lines. But like anything else, with it being underwater, it's more difficult to get to. So, what does that mean? Just earlier this year, there was a whole entire article, and I think it's Popular Science, talking about how in the North Baltic area, in the North Baltic Sea, that there was an area they were working on that they believe is um, anywhere from 8 to 10,000 years old, um, underneath the water, because around 11,000 years ago there was ice age and the water was a whole lot lower than it is today. Because of that, there's lots and lots of civilizations that were probably underwater at this point in time that we just don't even know about. Off of the coast of India, there's, I think it's Dwarka is the name of it, which is a proposed giant underwater um, ruins. So there's all these different areas underwater that we know are there, but it's kind of difficult to get to at times. And if we could have a more permanent solution underwater, would that not be a better route of going? Obviously, we want to be concerned about protecting those areas and not damaging them as we're excavating them or investigating them. But if we can have a more permanent structure there, a place to bring what we're finding, because again, bringing stuff to the surface is difficult. Having people underwater for periods of time is difficult. But if you are situated and we're living underwater, we've got ROVs, obviously, but there's nothing like having the human interaction and that insight to excavate these areas and go looking. The name Atlantis Sea Colony, I mean, it alone, the name of my business here, this venture, strives from the idea of Atlantis and where it's at and what it is, if it even exists. And so it's one of those things where it's very obviously close to my heart from that standpoint of this. And the benefit to it is we talk a lot about the business applications of how ASC is going to make money, and um, just general vacations and business and stuff along those lines. But we don't necessarily talk about the scientific work or the nonprofit work that can be done through the use of underwater habitats. Up till now, almost all underwater habitats have been for scientific research, and there's no reason we don't continue on with that while we're doing these other things as well. I think one of them is obviously the excavation and the archaeological aspect that can come into play. Um, we There's so much we don't know, and we're finding more and more out every year about our ancient history. Time seems to be going further back than we thought on a lot of these things, and by us being able to get underwater and get some of these areas that are probably pretty well preserved, because mankind has not been able to touch them and raid them and bother them for millennia. Who knows what we can learn about our own history and what good we can do and how we can rewrite history books at the same time. So, just a little quick one here on, hey, here's something else that underwater habitats can bring to the plate and why they're needed, and why they would be a benefit in rewriting our history books. So, can you one of these things where I always try to play devil's advocate and think of different ways that, hey, okay, yeah, like I say, for this one, we got ROVs, we got divers and stuff like that. It's still the point's arguable. Underwater habitat would bring a whole lot more to it. Getting something permanent down there, even if it's, I say permanent, but even if we can put it down there for a 6-month period of time and remove it, type of thing, that's a feasible solution to, instead of sending divers down there, spending a couple of hours down there, come up or whatever like that, and ROVs down there able to look around, and maybe they're able to manipulate some stuff, but you want to be cautious. That's why you have to have people down there. And that's why having them chill in an underwater habitat in between breaks and looking what they found is, I think, a more cost effective and a better way of doing things. But what do you guys think? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're feeling on this one. And we'll talk to you soon.